The Nigerian military rejects request to topple President Tinubu's government. The National Emergency Management Agency distributes relief materials to flood victims in Kano State. Plus, China condemns visit to Taiwan's Vice President William Lai to United States. Hello, this is News Live on Viewer Television. I am Chinon Sopam. And now the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has filed a lawsuit against the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, over the unlawful plan to spend 40 billion naira on 465 exotic and bulletproof cars for members and principal officials, and 70 billion as palliatives for new members. The suit is coming on the heels of the statement by Akpabio that the clerk of the National Assembly had sent holiday allowances into the various bank accounts of senators. Some 137 million Nigerians face extreme poverty. In the suit filed at the Federal High Court in Lagos, SERAP is seeking an order of mandamus to direct and compel Akpabio and Abbas to review and reduce the 40 billion naira budgeted to buy 465 sports utility vehicles and bulletproof cars for members and principal officials. In the suit, SERAP is arguing that Nigerians have a right to honest and faithful performance by their public officials, including lawmakers, as public officials, or a fiducious duty to the general citizenry. And the Armed Forces of Nigeria has rejected requests by coup instigators to topple the democratically elected government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Defense Headquarters, in a statement titled Military Better Under Democracy and signed by Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, Director of Defense Information, revealed that the military is better under democracy, noting how the military rejected the request by some elements in the country to topple Tinubu's government. The statement stated that the reports calling on the military to interfere in the nation's democracy were highly unpatriotic and is an attempt to distract the Armed Forces of Nigeria from performing its constitutional responsibilities. It declared that the military is happy and better under democracy and will not get involved in any act to sabotage the hard-earned democracy the country is enjoying. And the residents of Katsina State, under the auspices of the Katsina Daura Unity and Progress Forum, have called on the federal government to desist from supporting any aggression towards the Republic of Niger and its people. Doing so, according to the residents, is in effect undertaking a proxy war for NATO and its allies. It argued that such action will negatively affect people, mostly those living in the northern states of Nigeria. The residents, while reiterating their stand on the political situation in the Niger Republic, believe that the best antidote against coup is good governance, founded on the basis of free, fair, and credible elections. The forum, after carefully reviewing the efforts and responses of the heads of state of ECOWAS to resolve the ongoing tension, said the steps taken by ECOWAS under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu might lead to instability in the region. And the indigenous people of Biafra has begun the distribution of flyers across the southeast to further sensitize residents on its commitment to end the sit-at-home order in the zone. This was as a group further stressed it had no link with the self-imposed Prime Minister for the Biafran government in exile, Simon Ekpa, saying anybody caught enforcing the sit-at-home order in Igbo will be dealt with. The IPOB, in a statement by its Director of Media and Publicity, Emma Powerful, said the flyers and posters being distributed all over Biafra land are to convey their leader's famous pronouncement cancelling the Monday sit-at-home and to inform the good people of Biafrans that sit-at-home is not only dead but will never again be invoked or deployed as a tool of disobedience in the quest for self-determination. The group emphasized that Kanu had ordered the permanent end to Monday sit-at-home in the region. And in Ekiti State, Governor Biodun Oyebaji has suspended his newly appointed Commissioner for Chieftaincy and Home Affairs, Olaye Atibioka, with immediate effect. The governor on Tuesday inaugurated a total of 19 commissioners and 14 special advisors. Olaye was suspended barely 1 week after inauguration, announcing the 2-week suspension in a statement signed by his special advisor on media, Yinka Oyebode. The governor stated that the suspension follows the commissioner's unauthorized departure from the 3-day retreat organized for members of the State Executive Council and permanent secretaries held in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, on Saturday. The governor, who fully participated in all the sessions of the retreat, had earlier noted that there will be zero tolerance for indiscipline and poor performance. And the troops of the 1 Division of the Nigerian Army in Kaduna State have continued their aggressive clearance operation against all criminal elements in the division's area of responsibility. Acting on credible intelligence on a kidnapping incident on the 10th and 11th of August 2023, the gallant troops made contact with the marauded mad bandits and criminal elements in the Kabode village of Chukun local government area and Birnin Yero village of Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. On sighting the troops, reports say the bandits took their heels and abandoned all 10 kidnapped victims and their weapons. Meanwhile, the rescued kidnapped victims have been given medical attention and reunited with their families. The General Officer commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army and Force Operation Whale Punch, Major General Bamidele Alabi, has again commended the troops and pleaded with the communities to continue to avail the Nigerian Army and other security agencies of timely and credible intelligence. And now the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Abubakar, says the Nigerian Air Force has achieved remarkable success in different theaters of operations. The Air Chief stated this while commending his officers and gallant men during a visit to the Air Training Command and the headquarters of the Joint Task Force and Operation Whale Punch in Kaduna State.
To intensify our operations. If you notice also in recent times, not only in the South, we have been hitting a lot of vessels of the oil bunkers as well as illegal refineries. We have also been hitting a lot of the terrorists and bandits in the northwest and the north central regions. You have realized that a lot of them are now pledging to drop their arms and are seeking to come to the negotiation table. I want to assure all Nigerians that we'll continue to intensify air operations against all these criminal elements in whatever regions they are, in whatever criminal activities they are undertaking, until we bring all of them to their knees.
And when News Live returns, the National Emergency Management Agency has started distribution of relief materials to households affected by the 2022 flood disaster. Details of this and more comes to you right after the break. Do stay with us.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm at the Envoy Hotel, Diplomatic Drive 305, here for a business weekend. It's been an amazing stay. Conference hall and business facilities here are stylish and innovative. The Envoy Hotel is luxury, esoteric, opulence, for ultimate comfort.
travelers, we are more than just a place to stay. We are an icon of comfort, style, and thoughtful luxury. We are Envoy Hotel.
In this 21st century, where all the information we need is now in the palm of our hands. News from around the world, entertainment, celebrity gossip, sports, and much more. The only thing that you need is the right source. Viewer TV is now on the go. Simply check us out on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter for all the information you need.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is News Live on Viewer Television, and now a recap of our top stories. The Nigerian military rejects request to topple President Tinubu's government. The National Emergency Management Agency distributes relief materials to flood victims in Kano State. Plus, China condemns visit of Taiwan Vice President William Lai to United States. And the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has started distribution of relief materials to 22,658 households affected by the 2022 flood disaster and the vulnerable in Kano State. The Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Ahmed Habib, disclosed this while flagging off distribution of the relief materials to beneficiaries in Kano State. He said the gesture was under Special National Economic Livelihood Emergency Intervention for households affected by the 2022 flood and vulnerable in the state. Ahmed Habib said the aim was to bring succor to the victims. The flood items distributed included rice, beans, sorghum, vegetable oil, salt, tomato paste, and seasoning cubes. He listed the non-food items to include mosquito nets, nylon mats, blankets, mattresses, plastic buckets, sets of cooking pots, toiletries, and cooking stoves. And the Bauchi State House of Assembly has expressed readiness to give the necessary support for the implementation of the law that demands 6 months maternity leave for working mothers in the state ministries, departments, and agencies for them to have enough time to breastfeed their babies exclusively. This was disclosed by Honorable Lawal Dauda, Chairman House Committee on Health, during a media dialogue on the World Breastfeeding Week organized by the United Nations International Children's Education Fund, that's UNICEF. And our Bauchi State correspondent Awal Hassan completes the story.
All of us here, we are implementing partners with UNICEF. We are partnering with...
This media dialogue by the United Nations International Children's Fund, UNICEF, is in commemoration of the 2023 World Breastfeeding Week. Journalists from Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Plateau, and Taraba states are present here. According to the UNICEF's Chief of Bauchi Field Office, women need more time if they will indulge in exclusive breastfeeding.
We must promote policies that encourage breastfeeding, such as paid maternity leave, option for 6 months, as well as paid paternity leave, flexible return to work options, regular lactations, break during working hours, and adequate facilities and enabling environment for mothers to breastfeed the infants exclusively for the first 6 months.
Over the years, different stakeholders have advocated for a 6 months maternity leave. Now, these stakeholders are pushing a law by the State's House of Assembly.
Bauchi General Assembly, we are committed and ready for the law to come off. And I even informed the donor agencies that anytime that law come off, we'll engage a public hearing which will comprise of traditional rulers, religious leaders, and head of MDS. All will be there, and we are even advised to call for some of breastfeeding mothers.
Dr. Ruwan Muhammad is the chairman of the Bauchi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. He says the media is crucial in promoting breastfeeding.
Let us come together. Let us look at a breastfeeding mother. Let us create an enabling environment for mothers to strive. Let us make sure that we inform the father, we inform the grandfather, we inform the caregiver that look, a working class mother is an important mother. She should have a safe place, privacy in her working place, and flexible time for her to go back home and breastfeed her baby.
Just like UNICEF has been working with the media, we are expecting the media to be a good advocate for breastfeeding, to be duty bearers, to put the story out there, to encourage government, community leaders, fathers and uncles to support breastfeeding. We've seen the media play such roles before, and we think this will not be an exception.
Recall that the Bauchi State First Lady Dr. Aisha Bala Muhammad solicited for the support of the State House of Assembly for the implementation of 6 months maternity leave and a conducive working environment, as well as breastfeeding corners for working mothers in MDAs. Awal Hassan, Viewer TV News, Bauchi.
And about 1,000 students of the Kaduna State University, mostly females, were privileged to receive a personal hygiene sensitization from the Kaduna State University Medical Center in collaboration with some non-governmental organizations on Friday. This was as medical experts warned that poor menstrual hygiene affects the female reproductive system, hence the need for constant sensitization.
Those staying in the hostel, what we have observed is that you mismanage the toilet given to you and the waste bin that is being provided to you. Please and please, we will plead with you because infection can spread anywhere you don't look.
The rate at which young people are having cancer because they are using soap, thinking it's good to use soap to wash their. So we are here to sensitize them today, to also teach them that that is not the way. The best thing to use in washing their vagina is warm water, ordinary water, not with soap.
They say during the program, they say even after getting married, some ladies experience things like infection and infertility problems, and this starts usually from this stage of our life, this early stage when we fail to take care of ourselves during menstruation.
At the course of the study, the facilitator was able to answer certain questions in my mind, and then I am going to apply that when it comes to areas of discharges, taking care of myself, that I know when there is a hormonal imbalance, I know when there is a problem, I know when I'm okay, reading cycles, and then taking care of myself.
She spoke about it, that a lady trying to change her pad like 3 times or at least 4 times a day, so that's a very good start.
And still in Kaduna State, the Football Association's election, a normalization committee has been set up to ensure a successful electoral process. The committee's task is ensuring officials are voted to restore lost glories for the development of the sports in the state. The normalization committee has also assured of a free, fair and credible election as the election commences in early September 2023.
Free of any ramping, and once we get the leadership of the FA in Kaduna right, and I want to tell you that's going to be the beginning of getting things right, so that we can redeem our lost glory in terms of football.
If we have a credible election, everybody, the winner will be happy, the loser will be happy, because it is transparent, so there is no room for appeal. And where we go wrong, or if someone for selfish interest want to go for appeal, when he goes, they are there to make justice, inshallah.
And at the commencement of a plenary session at the State House of Assembly in Kaduna State, a member representing Giwa West constituency of Kaduna State, Umar Bajimi, has raised a matter of urgent public concern which centers on the recent incessant bandit attacks in 10 communities of his constituency, causing many to flee their ancestral homes. The member representing the Giwa constituency has therefore moved a motion calling for quick intervention from the state and federal government, as well as a large number of stranded dwellers from the hotspots of the local governments are yearning for speedy backups.
The state and the government of the federation to intervene in our issue, especially the current situation that we are in the East constituency. Because each and every blessing day, we are having this attack morning, day and night. So as I stand now, even this morning, I got the report. There are some of the village which yesterday night there was attack, and then they have killed some in the Giwa West constituency.
You also heard from the House where we encourage His Excellency to appoint a Commissioner for Internal Security so he could help him towards the discharge of his duty. And we're equally asking for those who have been displaced, equally hard we call on the attention of the government to bring succor to them so that the living should be able to live.
And so far, the 10th Kaduna State House of Assembly has experienced one of the most unified plenaries with unanimous decisions since the inception of Yusuf Liman as Speaker of the Assembly. And now the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has declared that the only thing better than democracy for Nigeria in this modern era is more democracy. The Army Chief asserted that while addressing newsmen during the passing out parade and commissioning oath-taking ceremony for officers cadet of the Executive Commission Course 1 2023 in Jaji in Kaduna State.
Our constitution and in deference to the government of the day. And I've said that the only thing better than democracy is more democracy. And by more democracy, I mean flourishing and well-established democracy. So the Army will work with other organs of government and well-meaning Nigerians to ensure that our democracy that is flourishing is entrenched to stand the test of time.
And earlier in his address, Lieutenant General Lagbaja reminds all officers and men of the Nigerian Army that subordination of the military to constituted authority remains the most fashionable means of promoting military professionalism.
Of hard work, and I've granted a presidential commission today. I charge you to brace up for the arduous task ahead, because situations will challenge you and test your resilience, patriotism, and loyalty to constituted authority.
And in Taraba State, Governor Abu Kefas says records show that Taraba is one of the states with the highest number of out-of-school children in the country. The governor was speaking at an interactive session with principals from 377 secondary schools and head teachers from the 2,217 public primary schools in the state. And now the report.
In the hall were principals and head teachers from all the 377 secondary schools and 2,217 primary schools spread across the 16 local government areas of the state. The governor mentioned that the purpose of the gathering is to have an interactive session between him and the teachers with regards to their challenges and welfare, so as to fine-tune ways to take off the state government's free basic education policy in September. The State Commissioner of Education, Agustina Godwin, says many teachers do not perform optimally as a result of poor welfare packages and harsh working conditions. She also wants the teachers to be given due recognition as stakeholders in the education sector.
Teachers are not able to give their best. Motivating teachers
in a way that upholds their dignity as human beings is crucial for optimum job performance. Job satisfaction enhances the quality of instruction and determines learning outcome. All these cannot be possible unless the attitude of looking down on teachers stop and they are considered truly as important stakeholders in education.
Improved welfare packages, efficient provision of learning materials, training of teachers, and the introduction of same uniform for all primary and secondary schools in the state to ease provision by the state government are some of the issues deliberated on between Governor Abu Kefas and the teachers. Governor Kefas says he is concerned that Taraba State has one of the highest out-of-school children figure in the country, and reiterates that his free education policy covers learning materials, school uniforms, and registration fees.
Teachers, head teachers, we have the opportunity to attend seminars, workshop, training within Taraba, within Nigeria, and even outside Nigeria. I want to also assure you, I know teachers have problems of accommodation. So we'll go into housing for teachers. So that teachers will not transfer aggression from landlord to students.
Governor Abu Kefas also said a committee will be set up with the Commissioner of Education as the chairperson to address the welfare concerns of teachers in the state. Linda Guana, Viwa TV News, Jalingo.
You're still watching news live on Viewer Television. International news comes to you right after the break. Do stay tuned.
The game of polo, it's my life. Polo is good. Though I just started and I'm still learning the basics. But I hope to be a pro in this game, and God being by my side, I know everything will be fine. I started 4 months ago. I started stick and ball 4 months ago, though I attended the riding course in Pakistan. I've learned the riding basics, but the game of polo 4 months ago, I started stick and ball. Every day we mount on the horse, we pray. And once we come down, as you can see, I was about ending and I fell from the horse. It's a normal thing. In horse riding, if you don't fall, you've not started yet. So you need to train. You can see I'm sweating, I'm eating banana, it's part of it. You must train, you must eat well, and you must learn properly. I've chosen polo to be my own sport, and I've always looked up to people like General Kazir Faya, General MSA Aliu, Colonel Waibelu, and General Laka. Few of them I've looked up to these people. These are great polo players, and they've always encouraged me to play the game of polo.
Thanks for staying with us. Now on the international scene, China on Sunday condemned the brief U.S. visit by Taiwan's Vice President William Lai, saying he was a separatist and trouble seeker through and through, and that Beijing will take strong steps to protect its sovereignty. Drawing a rebuke from Taipei, Lai, front runner to be Taiwan's next president at elections in January, arrived in New York late on Saturday for what is officially a transit on his way to Paraguay for the inauguration of its president. China, which claims democratically governed Taiwan as its own territory, has repeatedly denounced Lai's trip, which includes another stopover in San Francisco on Wednesday on his way back to Taipei. In a statement issued shortly after Lai landed in New York on a scheduled flight from Taipei, China's foreign ministry said it opposed any form of a visit by Taiwan's independent separatists to the United States. And now many families in northern province of Jauzain in Afghanistan have spoken out about the ongoing closure of girls' schools and the physiological implication this is having on their girls. One mother in the province, Karima Mohammadi, told how the decree has affected her 3 daughters. She explained that the closure of girls' schools and universities has led to her 3 daughters being deprived of education, which is having a terrible effect on their mental health. This sentiment is echoed by countless families across Jazin, who also appeal for schools to be reopened. Amidst the closures, many young female students have turned to tailoring workshops as an alternative, while others battle mental and physiological distress in their homes. And now over 2,000 people have been evacuated from flooded areas of the Parmoy region in Russia's Far East. Emergency officials have said this. Heavy downpours flooded villages in the region in the aftermath of the typhoon Kanum, which battered Japan earlier this week before making its way toward the Korean peninsula. The remnants of the storm, now downgraded from typhoon status, were stated to bring double the monthly rainfall to some areas of the region over the weekend. According to Russian state media, over 4,300 residential buildings were flooded and 28 settlements cut off by floodwaters, with 16 out of the region's districts affected. And on Friday, local officials said that downpours had already caused floods in 7 districts and killed at least 3 people, a woman and 2 children ages 10 and 12. And that's all on News Live. But before we go, a recap of our headlines. The Nigerian military rejects request to topple President Tinubu's government. The National Emergency Management Agency distributes relief materials to flood victims in Kano State. Plus, China condemns visit of Taiwan's Vice President William Lai to United States. And many thanks for watching. I am Chinon Sopam. Please do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.